Hey guys, Sabri Suby here, and today I have the man Grant Cardone.
Good. So good to be with you.
Man, the king of sales here, well, the Godfather of sales. We were saying off camera, like, I've been following you for a while. You know, you've been up on my radar for probably the last 6 or 7 years is when I first found you on YouTube, and just watching this trajectory of this attention just flow your way. And I watched a lot of your interviews, and a lot of the people kind of they don't really know like the inside scoop on you. Like, I feel like it's kind of surface level questions, where today I want to kind of get into the weeds, man. I want to get into the juicy shit. Like,
let's go, dude.
Yeah,
let's go.
Let's go.
See, most people don't know the right questions to ask.
Exactly.
Because they haven't seen the whole thing. They see now. They see now. They don't see, or they get too stuck in, oh, tell me about your childhood. What does that matter, dude? Like, bad stuff happened and da-da-da, but what matters is the in-between place.
Yeah. And so, the things that, like, I guess I want to dive into, like, you know, I know enough of a background story of you that, you know, you had a couple of million sitting in the bank account when you were 30.
Yeah.
You went through some shit. I want to know, when was that moment for you where you drew a line in the sand and was like, okay, like, I need to fucking scale this thing up.
2010, man.
Yeah, and tell me a bit about that.
Economy had crashed. I had 3 companies at the time. 2 of them got one of them got like 90% of it was just like, everything that was left on it but the head, maybe.
Decapitated.
It was that's all that was left, though, was the head, right? Like, it was just a look. And then that was a partner's business. And then another company that I had was a consulting company. It was useless. Like, it was me popping out on the road, pitching stuff, selling, very transactional. That one got pretty much like just, here, cut in half. And anybody that was still doing business with me in 2010 was just they were beat up. So everything was decided on price, no contracts, so I had 2 of the 3 businesses. The third business was the real estate. In 2010, you couldn't move a piece of real estate.
And you had some partners that crossed you, right?
Well, the real estate that I had, and I'll tell you about the partners. I was trying to make a move.
Yeah.
But the real estate that I had was cash flow real estate. It's all similar to what we buy today. Just today's much bigger. Because one thing I realized in 2010 was the real estate that I owned, even though real estate was decimated worldwide, the real estate I owned got us through 2010.
Yeah.
And if it wouldn't have been for that, I'd have gone bankrupt. Like, it got me through. Now at the same time, you know the old saying, when it rains, it pours, right? So I was trying to make a move. I knew I was doing something wrong, right? Between, probably 2004 and even 2001, even earlier, I was like, I'm doing something wrong here, man. I'd been in business 20 years. I made some money. You know, I had some money set aside, but I was always worried about the money I had.
How old were you at this stage?
I guess I'm 20, probably 45.
Okay. Couple of mil sitting in the bank account.
Yeah, maybe more than that. Maybe I had, I don't know. I don't remember what it was. It wasn't enough. It was just enough to worry.
Okay.
6 or 8 maybe. You know, you can't, like, if you're worried about the money you've made, you don't have freedom. And that's where I was. I was like most successful people. I had accumulated a little money. I wouldn't use it for marketing, wouldn't use it for branding, you wouldn't use it to scale. I didn't trust that if I invested it, it would come back to me. So I was trying to hold on to it. I was doing what my parents had taught me, right? So I was very much in a trap. But then in 2001, I see all these companies blowing onto the internet and then folding. I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. So I'd push. I'd have this idea to push, and then I'd get scared. Oh, I'm going to get whacked.
And you were already kicking money into property at this stage?
Yeah, but not much. I think I owned 300 or 400 units.
Okay.
You know, which seemed like a lot.
Yep.
But, you know, I own 6,000 today, so it's 20 times that today.
So you go through this turbulent period. It's like, okay, it's getting a bit shaky. You're out on the road doing these gigs, right? Going out and speaking.
Well, no, not really. That was cut in half. Nobody was paying anybody to do anything, right? So now I had a moment where I had to almost detox off this easy way of doing business.
Okay, so then what did you do?
So now I'm like, okay, I had to sit down and figure out what have I done wrong here? I've done something wrong. Something's not working. It was when you finally hit bottom. You know, when I was 25, I hit bottom with the drug problem, and I hit bottom again. This time I hit bottom, but I had a little money now. It's a similar bottom, And now I'm like, okay, what am I addicted to? I was addicted to easy. I was lazy.
Yep.
I was doing the same thing over and over again. I wasn't recreating myself. I wasn't spending money on marketing. I wasn't learning about the internet and social media. And so you need a reason to want to do all this shit. And I went to my wife and I said, I'll never let this happen to us again. Because we were at risk.
Okay.
And I said, I'll never let this happen again. At the same time, I had a lawsuit hit me from this fucking criminal. Same time a bank that I owed money to went under, the bank went under. I didn't go under, the bank did. But when the bank goes under, okay, and you're on the ship, man, the ship going under, everybody's gonna pay a price here. So all those things had me look at, hey, what do I have to do to scale? So like who survived 2010? The biggest companies on the planet.
Yep.
They didn't just survive, they prospered. And I'm like, that's who I need to become.
So let's talk about that. And that's one of the things that I want to dive into is like your company turned over what, 150 million last year?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me like that kind of journey from like 10 million bucks a year to scaling this puppy up to like 150 million a year.
So look, it's gotten bigger than I thought it would get. I never thought this big. I was asked the question earlier, isn't 10X just a big think that, you know, you're going to be disappointed? Maybe, but maybe it's actually smaller than what you can do, and it gives you enough momentum to start thinking, wow, dude, I could actually do bigger than this.
So when did that happen for you? When, like, I'm talking about, like, you drew that line in the sand, you're like, okay, I'm never gonna let, you said to your wife, I'm never gonna allow this to happen to me again.
Yeah,
Tell me
nine
then,
years
like,
ago.
Yeah, and then what was like, what's that journey been like?
Number one is I realized I could no longer be a great sales guy. This was no longer a sales solution. You can't be great at sales. There is no great salesman that's financially free.
Okay.
What do I need to become now? Oh, I got to become a company. What do companies do? Okay, they market. I need to become a household name. Like in 2010, I told my wife, I said, I will get us out of this. What are you going to do? I got to become a household name. I need people in Australia to know my name.
Yep.
I need people when they wake up in the morning to see me. I need those criminals that just sued me for $60 million and cost me, I don't know what they cost me, $6, $7, $8 million. I said, they're gonna wake up. Those motherfuckers are gonna wake up every morning. They're gonna wake up every night. They're gonna go to sleep and they're gonna see my face.
Yep.
And they're gonna be sick that they ever crossed paths with me. They should have done the right thing by me rather than this. I'm gonna push it in their face. I need every household in America to know me. I need people in Canada to know me. I need people all over the world. I knew that is the solution. If anybody wants to be a great company, you have to get known.
Yeah, and so tell me about that, because like I saw that you obviously went from doing like the face-to-face gigs, being out there, being like the sales trainer, to actually productizing your business and creating Cardone University.
Right.
And you've gone from like obviously selling like 36-month contracts on that thing, and now you're doing like the more SaaS subscription, right?
We do both. We didn't give one up.
Okay.
So we were calling on large corporations before 2010. I was calling on large companies. Obviously, they got cut in half. That business did. So I couldn't depend on them anymore. Now I started looking, okay, who can I monetize? Who can I monetize with? Who can I do business with?
Okay.
And that's when we started looking at other models. Other industries. First, it was other industries. So I was doing corporations. So I can't be dependent upon one industry. Now I need to get other industries. How do I do that? You got to write. You got to write articles about that industry. You got to get known in that industry. You got to solve problems for that industry. And the beautiful thing about 2008, 9, and 10 is there's a lot of problems. So you can write every day about a problem because everybody's having them in a contraction. So then we started offering our service to individuals and found out that the individuals, without giving up the corporate thing, the individuals were scaling like at much greater levels and giving us a lot of confidence, right? We were starting to work with small plumbers and contractors and painters and real estate people and masseuses and pipe layers and just everything, dude. People that were coming out of college. I'm like, oh my God, I need products for the guy coming out of college with debt. He doesn't have any money. What can he give me? Can he give me $5 a month? So then we started looking at all the different product types to hit all these people that I was getting attention from.
Okay.
And that started scaling. I mean, this is a lot of data in a very short period of time. But what happened was, we really started looking at first, how do you get known? You know, how does a person get known? I wasn't aware of Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and Twitter and LinkedIn. Like, I did not see those as distribution channels. I saw it as okay, maybe a place to connect with people.
Yep.
But I didn't see it as a place to lay content down on. So we just started laying content. When I finally realized what it was, I'm like, oh my God, this is a road home, okay?
Yep.
Or a road there. This is better than me getting on a plane and flying to San Antonio or all the way to Brisbane or Melbourne.
Because it scales.
Dude, what I can do is I can drop data content. I got so much content. There's nobody living except for one other dude. I'm not going to even mention him here, but because it's in a different space, but that has as much content. Maybe the Bible has as much content, but it might not even be that. I have so much content on sales, marketing, finance, real estate. Everything that I've gotten good at, I basically built a program around.
Yep.
And then I would have an opinion about it. I have a lot of opinions, so I'd go on Instagram and talk about it. I'd go on Facebook and talk about it. We dropped 6,000 videos on YouTube.
Yeah, and that content piece is like, for me, it's like, you know, in a day and age where skepticism is so rampant, like you got the jet, you're out there on Instagram, there's all these people that are creating noise, right?
Yeah,
and what everyone's trying to do is essentially differentiate the signal between the noise. And, when I came across you looking at your content, we were talking about this, it's like, you know,
what's the first thing you saw?
I saw the live, 100%. I remember the live sales call, and it was like you were pitching to do a show in the UK on sales.
Yeah, good. So you can't fake the live sales call.
And a lot of your stuff, like you got to admit, is Brian Tracy. It's like, you know, you've been heavily influenced by Brian Tracy.
Yeah.
Tom Hopkins, like Zig Ziglar, all the greats.
Heavily influenced.
Yeah,
okay?
and I can obviously see that.
Yeah, but the strategies are different. Because one of the things, I studied all those guys, by the way.
So did I.
So like Brian Tracy it didn't work for me. But to understand there was a system.
Yeah.
That's what worked for me. I needed a system. Now, you know, if you perfect those guys' systems, you can actually, if you perfect their systems, like I did with Tom. Tom, I was probably 27 years old when I was studying Tom Hopkins.
Yeah.
Hot potato, I knew all that shit, dude. I knew it verbatim. Like I could do it better than Tom could, and I'm better looking. So I could do it, man. I had it down, right? Never saw him live. Never saw that guy live until I interviewed him a couple years ago. And studied his material off of CDs. I've spent so much money, like
as have I, investing in yourself.
Yeah, but then what I did was, when you become a master, you know, then you can start creating your own content. Like Cardone University is not a knockoff of other people's stuff.
Definitely not.
You know, we flipped like entire cycles. When you study something long enough, like you can perfect even on a master's work. And even people out there, like if you studied my material long enough, to where you're like, okay, that's his, and you just started perfecting on it, then you could actually create something new.
And nothing in the world is original, right? And it's like, it's through.
I don't know if I agree with that, but.
Well, like, you all come and getting inspiration from something that.
Well, there has to be something
else.
original. There has to be something original.
If you kept on going back since the dawn of time, maybe.
I'm just saying. You said there's nothing original. I'm like, there's got to be something original.
Fair enough.
Okay.
But
you see, like Brian Tracy. And Tom.
Yep.
Those are guys that inspired me not to do what they did.
How so?
Because they never built businesses. If they were here right now, I'd be like, guys, you guys inspired me to create the empire I have.
Yep.
There was no way I am going to fly on a plane at 75 years old.
Yep.
It doesn't even look good. Like, there's a point where you just don't want to do that. Flying all the way across the world to pick up 25 grand. You're just a mere slave.
So then,
so that was some of the inspiration. I saw these trainers spending all their time training, speakers speaking.
Yep.
Where's the business? Where's the company? And that's what happened to everybody in that space, by the way, before the Dan Locks and all these guys, before Instagram. All these guys' businesses were slaughtered. Nobody was buying books. And so it's like, what are you going to do? This was my inspiration. I felt like a fraud. I felt like the guy on stage doing the doing the speech, you know. When do I build a business? I was telling people how to build a business. I didn't have a business.
So what do you say about, like, obviously, like you've built this business under your own brand name, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think about, like, does that really scale? Like, is that really building a company that's beyond yourself? It's still got your name on it?
Yeah, sure. People will be doing. We're doing Grant Cardone licensees now. There'll be thousands of people on this planet to continue selling a Grant Cardone product after I'm dead.
Yeah.
Cardone Ventures. We're buying other companies. We've added 4 companies this year that have nothing. They got something to do with me.
Yep.
My name might stay on it. It might not stay on it.
Yep.
But to be a more skeptical.
Yep.
Some of those businesses, maybe all of them, could fail.
Okay.
Okay, Cardone Capital won. Cardone Capital can never fail. It will go on forever. It will pay my kids. My kids will be on the Forbes list because of Cardone Capital.
Okay.
Little Cardone.
So the thing that I want to dive into now is like...
But let me just back up a second.
Yeah.
Okay, me learning sales, dude, was the foundation and the trap. It was the foundation for me to become the business person I am today. But it was also a trap because if you stay in a sales cycle, like Sketch, you know who Sketch is? He used to do his deal, run his deal here in Australia. Okay. And he had to go back to the U.S. Okay. Okay, anyway. You know, they did a movie about him supposedly. Yep, okay. Sketch. I call him Sketch. I won't even give him a name. Okay. So you know what I'm talking about though, right? I do. Yeah. So like there's no business, dude. He's still talking about sales. I'm like, bro, some point you got to build a business, right? So if there's no business, this can't be the business. Knocking on a door. Or just monetizing something in a webinar. There's got to be a business that can operate when you're not there. That's why all the money, I'm either buying a business, partnering in a business, collaborating in a business where I'm actually putting money and energy and effort into a business or pushing on a business to expand it. Or all that extra money goes into investing in real estate. So cool. So basically, we have a look at like you were at a stage where you weren't really investing in marketing and sales and promotion. None. Dude, and so when did that happen? Because I seen you started running ads. 12 what? 12 and 12. Okay. 2012. 2012 is when you started to like see the power of advertising. You can go back and look at all my accounts. Yep. When they started existing, and then you can see how many I had, how many YouTube drops I did that year, and then 13, 14. If somebody actually wanted to study, and they should, people should study what a guy actually went through. But I'm not talking about like you laying out content, and I'm talking about when did you start pouring accelerant on the fire, advertising, putting... 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. And how, talk to me about what that's done for your business. Well, it's stupid, dude. Tell me about it. Like you will probably spend $1 million this month in advertising. Yeah. And I wish we were spending $1 million a week. I mean, up to me, I'd spend $1 million a day. Just find the money. Go. I raised $223 million in 20 months on Instagram. Raised it, 223. Like that's bank money. That's these guys in these big buildings. They're calling and saying, excuse me, can we have a meeting? Yeah. Like it's ridiculous. So what changed in your mindset to do that? Only 2 years ago. Because the goal was, okay, we got to become a household name. Once you become a household name, then you're like, oh my God, this is possible. Yeah. It's possible. Hey, babe, come on, we're over here. Doors open, ready for you. Bring it on. Wait, come back to the hotel? Yeah, come back to the hotel. Wait, is that what you said? Yeah. Okay, I'm on my way. So, you got to have a team though. Like I had 3 employees 7 years ago. Yep. 3? 3. Really? Yeah. So it was Jarrod? Seven, maybe 8 years ago. Can't be more than 8. It was you? Jarrod, Sheri, and me. Yeah. Okay. So that was the 3 employees. And that's one of the things that I want to dive into is like the relationship between you and Sheri and your operations manager and how that's allowed you to scale, right? Because it looks like you go out there like a hurricane of promotion, right? Total hurricane. And is she the person that comes like behind you? She cleans up. Yeah, she cleans up. And talk to me about that. How has that allowed you to scale? Yeah, well, you need a stable person in the environment. If you're the wacko, right? If you're the tornado, hurricane, cyclone, whatever you call it in this part of the world, you need somebody to clean stuff up. Like, see, Sheri, the relationship between me and Sheri is unbelievable. Nobody really ever asked about it, so thank you for seeing it. But she never, ever says, don't do this, don't do that. She'll just clean up behind the scenes. Yep. She just, go, man, go do your deal, go do your deal. There's never an editing of me. There is of other people, but not of me. Yep. So now what they'll have to do is maybe we got to tweak this or tweak that or clean this up or take that off or whatever, right? Yep. So, but there's never, Grant, you did it wrong. Okay. Because I'm not trying to do it right or wrong. I'm just trying to do it. And how long? And how can anybody know what right or wrong is? 8 years, 8 or 9 years. And was that hard to kind of have that trust? No, I knew who she worked for, and I wanted to get her. Yeah. She worked for this A-list celebrity. Yep. That was a freaking is a baller. It's a bad motherfucker. Like, and I'm like, man, if she ever leaves that deal, I'm getting her. Okay. She can handle that heat. Yep. She can handle me. Okay.
Awesome. Now, the last question that I want to kind of dive into with you is like you've got.
And then Jarrod, on the other hand, he's the guy putting contracts together, right? And then Ryan Secco, he comes along.
Yep.
He's a guy that wants to help. He loves real estate.
And he hasn't been on your team for long, has he?
3 years.
Okay.
3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 years we built $1 billion real estate portfolio. But you got to have people to do this. You can't do this by yourself. Nobody's ever done it. Jesus did not become Jesus without marketing and advertising. I mean, the guy left his house, said, Mom, Pops, Joe, what's her name? Mary? Hey, I'm out of here. I got to go pitch. I got to go promote. I got to go do a little door-to-door.
Got to get known.
So he had a team too.
Yeah. I'm big on, I literally today unveiled a new office for my team. So I know what it's like in terms of investing in that long-term, building out that team. The thing that I want to kind of segue into now is like you've got 2 young daughters. I've got 2 young daughters. I think that your daughters were home
8
birth.
and 10. And they were home births. Yeah.
So am I too.
Yeah. Okay, awesome.
But the thing that I want to know is like, so you're someone, the thing that I probably value the most in you is I look at you as like a polymath, and that is someone that's kind of, you've got like a lot of other areas balanced in your life. Like at the age that you are to be
polymath,
in the shape.
I like that.
Yeah. You got your finances right, but the thing also is like, you got your kids hanging around here. And you got the whole deal. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you see these guys that are rich, but their life is in shambles.
Overweight.
Yeah, all of that shit, right?
Kids hate them.
But so talk to me about like how you've been able to kind of scale up and still balance all these other areas.
Yeah, that's
of your
what
life.
10X is. 10X is like taking your life and it's like a refrigerator. Hey, what do I need in my refrigerator to have a 10X life? Oh, I need, what do I need in there? I need people all over the world to know me. I can't just know you on Instagram. That means I got to fly to Melbourne. The only way I was going to meet you is to come here.
Yep.
So it means I need a hotel room big enough. Oh, I want to bring my kids with me. That means I need a hotel room big enough for me and the kids and for you guys to do the interview. Oh, and now I need a nanny. I just started filling up the refrigerator. If I could do it, what would I need? Oh, damn, I need a jet, dude. I don't want to fly. What's your airlines here?
Qantas.
I don't want to buy a Qantas. It doesn't even sound good. Sounds nasty. Who wants to be on a Qantas, right? So next to people I don't even know, right? So I'm like, what do I need? I started just looking at what would I need. Elena and I sat down and said, what would we need in our refrigerator to feed our family, our life, our dreams?
Yep.
I need a jet. I need a nanny. I need a team. I need business to work when I'm gone. I need connections all over the world. I need places where people don't just buy stuff from me. You can actually invest your money. What would you rather do? Invest money with me or buy something from me?
Yeah, invest with you.
Of course, man. Like when we open up the investment thing, I don't even know what I was thinking. Okay? We're paying people. My goal is to send people more money than people send me money. Like, you know how many fans I can make? Like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, who do you study? Well, Grant Cardone sends me a check every month. Every time he writes a book, I buy it. A big fat check every month, or a little check. Look at those buildings out there. They send people money. They take care of people's money. That's who I want to be.
But how do you manage Cardone Capital, Cardone University, enterprises, and still have the time to hit the gym, to have the girls, to do it all? Tell me about it.
It's easy once you decide, hey, I want it all. 10X is about having it all. It's not about getting rich. It's not about being a health nut.
Yep.
I want every part of my life to work.
But you can't have it all, they tell you, right?
Okay, well, because they gave up on having it all.
Exactly.
The quitters all have bad advice. Quitters have bad advice. They quit. And now they're trying to make sense of why they don't have it all. It's not true that you can't have it all. Like, so I am the perfect example. Like, I don't know if I have it all, but man, I am like in that top. I don't know of anybody I trade lives with.
That's what I mentioned it, right? Because looking from the outside in, you can kind of see that you've got.
And I didn't parts. 7 years ago. So it's not like I'm saying I'm some genius, right? Because for the first 50 years of my life, I did not have it all. I was out of balance. I was not taking care of myself physically.
Yep.
I've never been out of shape, but I was not in good shape.
Okay.
I was probably, 10 or 12 pounds overweight. My body was hurting. Before Elena, I did not have relationships that work. Not only did they not work, I had no chance of ever being married and having kids.
Okay.
Because I didn't spend enough time at home to spend time with kids. I wouldn't have kids because I'm like, what kind of dad am I going to be? I'm never going to be around.
So how did that transition when you did have the kids? Of like trying to like, do you believe in this whole concept? It's like, hey, either I'm going to have to give something to the family, then I'm going to have to be taking a little bit away from the business. Run me through how you were dividing your time up then.
You don't divide time up. You create time.
You multiply it.
You make it. Okay, what should I not be doing? Well, I should not be spending 5 minutes doing dishes. I should not be spending, maybe I don't drive to work anymore. Oh, I'll have the office 3 minutes from my office. So I get to spend 27 more minutes with my kids. But you see, people are selfish. They're selfish and they're bitches. Because what they do is they go, oh, you know, I got my little house out here in the suburbs and I can afford it. And that's why you're driving an hour and a half. Why don't you give up the house, move into the city? Oh, but the kids are so happy with the school. Fuck that school will have nothing to do with those kids. If anything, it's going to damage them. Move into the city next to your office and spend an extra 27 minutes with your kids in the morning and at night. So what we did was we just threw away all the old beliefs and said, what do we have to do to have an ideal life? Our life. Never be more than 5 minutes from our office.
Yep.
Don't own a house. Okay? Have a house where you can drive up, park your car, go up into your unit, and never take care of anything again. Taking care of a yard has never made me a penny or a customer.
Yep.
So we got rid of the house. I've done all these things. Sold the house.
Yep.
Okay. I live in a building now where I go 33rd floor, own the whole floor, come back down. That's where I do my gym workout. Trainer comes to me, I don't go to him. Saves me time. So what do I get to do? I get to spend more time with my kids and more time in my marriage. Okay. How do I get my wife and I involved and on the same page? I bring her into the business and start doing shows with her at whatever level she can do stuff at. Right? Start hiring more people. Use money by time.
I get it.
Okay.
Last question for you. So if you were talking to the young Grant as me right now, got a business doing just shy of $20 million a year at 33 years old, what is it that you can impart into me?
Your new target is $200 million, $18 million a month. That's what you're doing a year. Your new targets. And you're not going to stop. You're going to say, hey, I can do this. It's been done before. You could take $200 million off this planet. Nobody's going to know anything happened. The money's available. Right? You're
100% it's out there. It's going to go collect it.
It's going somewhere. You're just going to get it redirected to you rather than it, wherever it's going. Okay? So how do you do that? And you and the spouse and the kids all need to get on the same page and say, hey, the new target is $200 million, $18 million a month. What do we got to do if it's possible? Who do I have to become if it's possible? What do we have to be if it's possible? Okay? How many people do I need working for me if it's possible? What am I willing to put at risk in order to get that? And how much different would your life be?
My man.
Right?
Cool. Yep, 100%.
Do it, dude. Stay with it and don't give up on it. This is the target, $200 million, okay? I expect you to get there.
I'll get there and I'll hit you up.
Awesome.
All right, thanks for making the time, my man.
Thank you.
Cool.